Richard Ahiagbah, for a response on these allegations made against his party by the independent candidate who, until this contest, was a member of the New Patriotic Party. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. The allegation is that you are plotting to cause power outages during vote counting, all because on the ground it does appear that the independent candidate, Kobna Osueduomi, is causing a lot of waves and may likely win that seat, which will not be good for you, especially as you were the incumbent until your member of parliament died.
Hello, good evening to you and to your listeners. I think Ejisu is destined to vote for the New Patriotic Party's candidate, Obna Boateng, who the party has selected as its parliamentary candidate on Tuesday. There is nothing that will change that. And it would not be because any ballot box was stuffed or any unqualified individuals will come and vote. It will just be because Ejisu always votes NPP, because they know what NPP does for them. They are members of the party. They believe in the party's values and tradition, and that's why they will vote for the party. Now, the former MP who served the people for 3 terms raised a press conference today to insult his own people. And I find that most unfortunate. The same people who voted.
What do you mean by he insulted his own people? He said the MPP is trying to buy their votes.
Well, the MPP, the constituency is an MPP-dominated constituency. So he's talking about his own people. He's insulting his own people.
He's talking about the leadership of the MPP.
Salam. The things he said, he cannot be talking about the leadership of the party. And if he's talking about the leadership of the party, he's saying that the people who have always voted for him suddenly have changed. Their conscience is now available for purchase. That's what he's saying. So, in essence, he's insulting his own people. And I find that to be most dishonest and unfortunate. Now, you see, he's made an allegation. Instead of you, a lawyer, he has a burden to show us what evidence he has to the effect of what he has said. And I don't know if he's brought any evidence to you. So in essence, he is just preempting a conversation to excuse his own loss that is imminent. I hear you say something about some poll by a polling company that I find most dishonest. We'll be mild about it. If anybody could raise any survey in the constituency to arrive at Eduomi's victory, then that poll...
what the poll actually says is that, of course, the independent candidate is trailing, but it's almost neck and neck. That's what he said. Smaller than the margin of error.
All right. That cannot be a credible poll. Salom, we had the same instance in Kumawu recently when Philip Baswa passed away. We went to the constituency. There was this noise about, the independent is doing that, is doing this. In the end, when the dust settled, it settled the right way. The MPP won that constituency. It will be no different from Ejisu because our people understand what loyalty is, what membership of a party is. Eduomi was a member of our party. He was an MP for 3 terms. And just because he was removed, he came and removed people and was MP for 3 terms. Just because he was removed, he became bitter and walking about denigrating the party, besmirching the name of the party, all in the name to serve his personal interest. And I find that not to be a good character. So our party people, they understand that. They understand that if you're a part of a group, you serve the group, you are loyal to the group. His character is unexemplary, and the people will choose away from him. They will let him know that behavior is unacceptable behavior, and I think that's what he can see coming, and he's preempting all this conversation to have a plausible way of explaining.
But will you admit that he's
choosing to contest against a party that he's been a member of parliament of and a member.
But will you admit that he's making some moves on the ground? I mean, he has some momentum on his side. Will you admit that?
I see him moving about in the constituency, whether that is momentum or not. I'm just telling you as a matter of fact that the New Patriotic Party will win. on Tuesday. In fact, you, Salom, I don't think that you would appreciate a dishonest person, someone who is not loyal, somebody who does not appreciate, is not grateful to the same party that he's led. Now, when he was leading the constituency, when he was the MP, if everybody else were to exemplify the character and behavior he's exemplifying today and decided to contest him independent, would he like it? You understand? So when it was your turn, everybody fell in line, and you were the one to lead the constituency. And you led the constituency for 3 terms as an MP. Now, when it came somebody's turn, you are plotting and doing all sorts of things just because you feel you are the entitled one to the MP.
No, because, I think that, not because he feels entitled, party, but because he feels that the party is departed from its usual way of doing things. And so he no more belong to the party.
If you're in a community and you find everybody to be wrong and you are the only right person, you must know there's something wrong with you. The entire party cannot be wrong and only him right. And so he should look at himself. He is the odd one out. The entire party is focused. We have a candidate, Lawyer Kobna Boateng, is the one the party has settled on. This is the way of democracy. All of us cannot lead. And you must understand, when the party opened nomination for people to contest for the position of PC-ship, he was alive. He was here in this constituency. If he really meant well for his people, he would have picked the form to contest.
Very well.
He is one who the party would see as an unexemplary person, one who is not grateful, and the party will not vote for him. It happened in Kumawu, and it will happen in Ejisu that the party's candidate, Kobna Boateng, will win the election.
And they also say that because you are shaking, you are bringing a lot of work to the constituency. I mean, overnight construction of roads and all of that, simply because of the fear of losing the seat to the independent candidate, Edwin.
Well, I think that's a needless conversation, but for what it's worth, we can say that it's better safe. It is better we are safe than sorry. What we are doing in the constituency, as you see, is that nothing to do with this election.
You mean even before the election or before the MP unfortunately passed on? Yes, you were constructing roads in the night.
But Salom, you had the same conversation happen when we went to Kumawu.
Yeah, it's been the same. It happens during by-elections.
I'm saying that whichever way you look at it, work happens and the works are being done. We explained this thing when we went to Kumawu. In our house, in our families, when something happens, there's work that is done to prepare to receive people. It has nothing to do with the election. It has everything to do with development, and that's what is being done. The truth is that Ejisu deserves development. As and when it comes, the development must be allowed to proceed. So really, this has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the election. And even if it has to do with the election, are we saying that Ejisu doesn't deserve the development? Absolutely, they deserve it. So it has to be done.
I see. Yes, a final one. So they also have a problem with you describing their candidate as an NDC-sponsored one. Of course, we know NDC didn't field a candidate, but they say you are going around telling the people that he is being sponsored by the NDC, and that cannot be true, and so they have a problem with that.
He's chasing his shadows. If he thinks he's not an NDC person and somebody is saying he's an NDC, why is he worried about it?
No, because the area is an NPP
we are not worried about what he is. We are just saying that he's a betrayal. He's not one who is worth membership of the New Patriotic Party. The same party that did him well, he is today standing against that party. And we think that's not a good character. That's what the people are going to judge. It is not a question of his NDC or not. It is his own behavior of betrayal. That's what the people are going to vote against. He stands no chance of winning that election. He knows it. All these things he's doing are preemptive conversations. If he thinks he's NDC, he should just come out and say he's NDC. Nobody is calling him an NDC. If he knows he's NDC, then he should confirm it. But we are not saying that.
It's your former member of parliament, former NPP member, now independent candidate. Thank you so much, Richard Ahiagbah, Director of Communications of the NPP.
You have to be right on that matter.
No, I mean, former NPP member and an independent candidate. That's what he is.
He doesn't even deserve that anymore. If there was a way to remove that, we will.
No, but that's not fair. He served you for 3 terms. He served you for 3 terms. And he's had a change of mind, which is fine.
NPP member.
But he's a former
He could
MP
be NDC,
on the ticket of the
anything,
NPP.
but he's not an NPP member.
But he's an independent candidate as we speak. For the records, he's an independent
candidate.
candidate.
To do with the NPP.
Former NPP member, yes. Former NPP member. Thank you so much, Richard Ahiagbah, Director of Communications for the NPP, speaking to us. Eyewitness News on 97.3.